All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to edit your stop action liquid photography. Here's an example of an image. So first, after you upload in Lightroom, you're going to review your images and decide which one you would like to edit. I'm going to go with this one. So what I'm going to do is click over to develop, and I can, once I do this picture, I can actually sync it, the edits with all the other ones. So first thing I'm going to do is a white balance because I know that the background should be black. So I'm going to select black, which is a neutral target. That looks a little off, so I'm going to cool it a little and then bring the pink a little down. I think this looks all right. You can kind of play around to get the look that you want. I want a little less green in there, like that. So some basic edits. These are all on a tripod, so if I crop and apply the crop, those will also, I can also apply those. I'm just going to go like that. And then I think I'm going to bring, I have a gap here, so I'm going to bring the brightness over a little bit. And then maybe my overall exposure up with the tiniest bit, but then bring my highlights down so I get a little bit more detail in here. Let's see, I could also add a little texture, maybe a little tiny bit of clarity. There we go. And that helps to add some sharpness to it. Let's see. If I want the colors to show up a little more, I can add vibrance or saturation. All right, so I think that's pretty good. So I can go back and view before and after. I think that looks all right. And then what I'm gonna do is select these images that are also in the shoot if I wanted to go back and edit one later. Make sure I'm selected on this one. And now I'm gonna sync. And I'm not sure you guys can see this button, or this box, but you're gonna go ahead and then add all these, but then also add crop to it so it'll straighten and crop, and hit synchronize and it will fix all those images so they all match. Next, I want to go ahead and open this one in Photoshop. So I'm going to right click, edit in Photoshop. And while that launches, I am going to bring it over. Oops, it's on a different screen. Hold on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Control-0. Okay. So now what I want to do is let's do some basic retouching. So I'm going to add a new layer. I can double click, call this retouch, and basic edit. So I'm going to do my spot healing. So I'm going to go through and just get rid of these bubbles. So I have sample all layers turned on, content aware. I'm just going to get rid of all this junk, try to clean it up. If you have like reflections, you can kind of get rid of those. You can also get rid of some of that. You can also use the patch tool. So if you have a good area that's clean, you can make a circle. Oh, that's not going to work actually. Oh, it did work. Oh yeah, sample all layers. Perfect. That works. And then that way you can do larger areas. If you want to make it look more like seamless, you can kind of get rid of some of the top of the water. So I'm going to do that so it looks a little bit more mysterious. Here. This stuff. And once you have a big area, you can kind of like try that and do bigger chunks once you have a large area clear. And basically it's just going to blend it, but then it's going to fade it out as well. Normal will kind of blur the edges. So if you're getting splotchy, you may want to try that as well. And we got some reflection here, so I might, oops. Let's see. I'm going to turn it back to content aware. Let's see if we can get that going. There we go. Sometimes you just got to do it a couple times, try different selections. There we go. And the reason we do a different layer is so you can do a before and after and just see what you've done. So I'm going to deselect by just clicking, and then you can see before and after. So it's so much cleaner. A couple other things we can do is I want to brighten up the stem here. So I could go and add brightness and contrast or levels. And I'm going to make some adjustments just to brighten up that stem right now. Let me bring that over and bring that over. You can see the background's a little messed up. So I could keep working on that. All right, so what I'm going to do is then on the layer mask, I'm going to select Control I to invert it. And now if I get a brush, which is B on the keyboard, I can turn my opacity on the brush down, and I can brighten this a bit by painting over it. And it will reveal on that layer. So now just that part, and I can go back. That's a good thing about adjustment layers is I can go back, and now I can like brighten it a little bit more. And go back to that mask and just make sure that that way it just pops a little bit more. And then if you wanted to darken something, you can do the same thing, just making a dark selection. So say I wanted to darken the background. So let's do a new one. I'll just take brightness down so the black is more black. I can then Control I, invert it, B for brush, and I'm probably going to turn my opacity up a bit. I'm just tapping the brackets, and then I can go in here and make the background darker. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Just paint, whoopsie, not that. Painting in around my flower, like so. All right. So it'll just like, I'm just adding that darkness to darken it so it pops more. And I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to go to File and Save. And if I do a save, it should just pop straight over to Lightroom, and I can export it from Lightroom. So you'll see your before and after, or your, so that's my before retouching and after. And if you want the original, I can also go back here, do a create virtual copy, and then reset that one. So that's my before, and then that's my after. Before and after. All right, and then you just go ahead and export like normal. Hope that helped. Look forward to seeing your images.